Hey GH peeps, welcome back to my channel where we talk all things General Hospital. Today's late night review is for Monday, guys. It is March 18th, 2024. Yes, I am rocking my Shamrock headgear. You know what I'm saying? I was a super lame this weekend. I just, when you haven't been feeling well, you just want to stay in and try to get as healthy as you possibly can. So I didn't do anything. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to wear it today because it's my last day and I love St. Patty's Day and I love my Shamrocks. You know what I'm saying? Can't go wrong. But anyway, I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. And I want to say thank you again, Kyrese, for having me on your live Saturday. I had a wonderful time, guys. I was rolling. He's such a sweet guy. I just love him so much. Thank you once again, Kyrese, for looking out for me. And hope you guys were able to stay tuned. But if you didn't, check him out. He does all soap shows. I don't think he does all soap shows. I know he does the Young and the Restless, and he does Bold and the Beautiful, and he's hilarious. And he tells it like it is. You got to check him out. But check him out on his page. And thank you once again, Kyrese. So, guys, I wasn't going to post today because I got to finish some writing. But after I seen today's show, I was like, wow. So, I felt like talking to you guys about it, trying to get some of your input, what you felt about the show and how today's show, like the Marshall one, most definitely, how you felt about how that ending, and just, about how you felt about today's show in general. And I was like, you know what, I could squeeze out a couple of minutes to talk to my homies. So here I am. I'm going to talk about my highlights during the show, but as always, please leave your highlights in the comment section. I love to hear your guys' ideas. I really want to hear your guys' ideas about some of the things today that happened in today's show. If you haven't already hit that like button, guys. Come on, do it for me. And if you haven't subscribed and you've been following me for a while, hit that subscription button, guys. It means the world to me. And it helps get my video out there boosted. But let's talk about it. Why? Because I got to get back to writing. Anywho, so we're going to start off with the Jocelyn story. Yeah, guys, you know me. I got to cover all of them, right? So Nina has spilled the beans about Dex almost unaliving Cyrus, and she, of course, dropped her bomb. She's gonna, doodle off somewhere and destroy somebody else's life. And Joss just can't believe it. I just can't believe that you would do this, that you would. And I'm like, oh, honey, the naivety. I'm looking for the growth and the growing, because Josh, what did you think he was doing for Sonny? Tic-tac-toe, a driver. He was hired to protect, and she even brings it up. And I know, but he was harmless, and Sonny was harmless, and this was harmless. Honey, Sonny's a mob, man. You know better. And Joss was like 1,000% naive today. But it's whatever. Because now, the other side of Joss, Dex, it was just about, oh my gosh, guys, this is so bad in so many ways. Because now Joss is gone. She breaks up with Dex. She has to run. I can't be a part of this anymore. And she runs off. And now Dex is looking at a good bottle of whiskey. It looks like whiskey to me. Looks like Maker's Match. Maker's Match is good. I like the, I'm talking about liquor. Let me stop. But like Maker's Match. Maker's Match is good whiskey. But anyway, he puts it down and decides to do what? Oh, he's going to call the police and turn himself in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, doofus. Doofus? Y'all remember, was it the Scream knockoffs when it was Sergeant Doofus? Wasn't his name Sergeant Doofus or Cop Officer Doofus? Dex is Mob Doofus. Mob wannabe Doofus. He's a doofus. He's going to, what's he going to say? That he was, I just wanted to go after Cyrus, and I just wanted, to take him out, and you weren't following Sonny's orders. No, I just wanted to do it because he's a bad guy. And, you know, he was bothering Trina. Yeah, that's it. He was bothering Trina. So, of course, it wasn't after the fact that, you know, Sonny had just got caught beating the crap out of him at the church, and he was looking at time. No, it had nothing to do with that at all. Sonny is currently mourning his son. Not mourning, but he is hurting over his son. I just want to put Dex and Joss in a love ball and kind of like roll them down the hill. They could come back, but not right now. Not right now, Dex. We don't need your antics right now because... And you know, Anna's going to be like, so you're going to take the blame for yourself? Yes, because I'm a man, and I got to own up for what I did. Oh, you're going to own up for what you did for somebody having you to go do it? Yes. Even though somebody had you do it? Well, oh my gosh. I can't deal with Doofus. Dexy Doofus and Jossie Washi. I just need Josh. I just want to, you know, I got to see Carly grow up. It was painful watching Carly grow up, you know, mature up, stop making some of the bad decisions. But watching Doofus, Dex, and Jossie Washi, I just need Josh to grow up. I'm looking forward to watching her grow up. I do not want to watch Doofus Dex grow up, though. I cannot deal with his blank stares. I can't. I know he's supposed to be someone's boyfriend, but I can't. I'm ready for Doofus to leave the screen. There's no reason for him. If he's not going to be Jason's son, and he's not going to be somebody else's son, and Joss is broke up with him, if going to jail is going to get Dex off the screen, I'm for that. I hate to see the poor boy go to jail for something that he was hired to do, but I can't deal with Doofy. I can't deal with Doofy. I just can't, y'all. I can't, okay? We're going to move along, because we're going to talk about Sonny, because I'm not going to spend 18 minutes talking about Doofus and Doofy Dex. So Sonny is sitting there, and he's, you know, seeing his son, and he's praying over him. He doesn't want to give up. He tells him he's not giving up on him, and he does not want him to give up either. He wants him to keep fighting and being the fighter that he is. There's not much I can say about this, except for I just want something to happen. Doctor to wake up. Yeah. Dante's playing a really good sleeping person now. What can you say about this? Dante's sleeping still. Tracy does come to visit Dante. Lets Sonny know that Olivia and them are at the house, comforting each other, getting sleep. And she tells Sonny that she doesn't want anybody to know. She doesn't want anybody to don't say anything, because she doesn't want her rep to be ruined of being cold and cold and unfeeling. And I like that part. And then she kind of broke down, and Sonny looked at her. She's like, "I'm sorry, hospital rooms, beds just remind me of Luke." But it was nice to see her there. But that just goes to show you, Tracy does have a heart. She does. It was cute to see her and Stella getting into it. I kind of like that. That was kind of cute, because they both meddlesome. Now Stella was telling her about her she needs to get her privileged butt to get her annual exam, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll get it." And she's like, "Oh yeah, because da-da-da." And Stella was kind of feeling some type of way about the last meeting, and Tracy was just being Tracy. But you know, Tracy did tell her to call her Tracy, so that was a big thing. Did I write anything else about them too? I'm just trying to get out of the small stories, guys, so I can talk about the story I want to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, I said Tracy tells her about her annual exam. Okay. Oh, we'll talk about Lois real quick. So Lois, we're at the Quartermains. Lois is comforting Liz, and she brings her the coffee that Tracy was going to make for her, because I forgot to tell y'all that, you know, Tracy had came up and seen Olivia sleeping, and offered to make her some coffee. Tracy's being her wonderful self. But they discussed Dante and all his antics as a child, and him being raised around a bunch of hooligans, and how, you know, how he was always defending and protecting people from bullies, and he was just basically a good cop. So I feel like this is just, you know, and I hope they're not doing this because Dante's about to not be coming back. I would be so hurt if Dante, Lulu, Rocco, and these people already got a mama, now they gonna take their daddy. I would be so hurt if they did that. If they were doing this to do that. I'm hoping they're not. I'm really hoping they're not. And they discussed Brooklyn and Chase, and, you know, about Chase being a cop, and Lois just really terrified for Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's hiding her tears from Chase because she doesn't want him to know that she's scared for him about him being a cop. But the reality is, it is a dangerous job. It is. In the military, dangerous job. Dangerous job. Very dangerous job. Liv brings up the fact that Dante was on the right side of the law, and the bullets still didn't care, because Sonny didn't get shot. Dante did. That's not sad, but yeah. And my uptick to this very sad story, you know, we know Dante, of course, is not really, you know, dead or shot, unalive, sorry. But is what if Dante and Lulu both open their eyes up at the same time? That's, yeah. I would like that. If for Dante, like, okay, so since we're not getting any new actors in, no one said anything about anybody new coming in this week, and I'm hoping Dante wakes up. I hope it's not going to be dragged out. Oh my gosh, that would be depressing. But anyway, if it was to, you know, I would love for Dante and Lulu to wake up at the same time. And like, okay, this is in my head. I got to talk about this story. I got to change it up because it's kind of, you know, sad. But let's say Dante's in his head and he's hearing everybody talk, but he's hanging out with a blonde woman. He doesn't know who it is. And he's looking at two little kids, and it's, okay, well, I guess it'd be one kid because they only have Rocco. He's looking at a little boy, and he's like, and they're both looking at him. And he's just like trying to get it, you know, he's trying to mind, and it turns out to be Lulu and Rocco when he was a kid. And they're talking and everything like that, and about how they're going to be, you know, how they're going to always be there for their kids, and then they're just showing the growing family of everybody, you know, how they're always going to be unified when it comes to their children. And they smile and they talk some more about, you know, just everything. And then as they're about to depart, they both wake up at the exact same time. That's what I'm saying. And no, guys, I'm not saying for Dante and Lulu to get back together. No! Because like I said, in the memory, the dream that they're both having simultaneously, like he's going to be walking through some fogginess, and all of a sudden he's going to see somebody blonde, and she's going to be looking at a little boy playing, and, you know, kept rewinding stages of his life, and he walks up and he sits back and he says, oh, he's a little handsome guy, and he just start talking casually, and then he starts talking about how he looks so much like his son, and then he looks and he sees her face, and he's like, it's you. And he's like, yeah, it's you. Like, oh my gosh. And then she hits play, and then they start, you know, catching up on, of course, when she wakes up, she's not going to remember nothing that's happened. And of course, he's not either, but it's just a flash play of their life and the growing families and how they're always going to be united to be there for their children. Charlotte, Rocco, Danny, everybody, you know, they're always going to be for each other, to be the big extended universe family. And they smile and have another shared moment with little Rocco as a baby, and then they wake up. And of course they don't remember anything they had when they were having that thing, but they both wake up at the same exact time. I would love that. Oh my gosh. And you know Soapy's going to make it Soapy. Of course Lulu's not going to want to tell everybody she's coming back. She's going to go to her old house, look in the window. They're going to like, who's looking in the window? It looks like Auntie Lulu. It's not Auntie Lulu. She's in the hospital. And it's Auntie Lulu. That's my take of that story. I'm moving on. Don't get mad at me, guys. I had to do it. I had to throw it out there because I had to change it up because I was like, I can't keep, yeah. Anyway, we're going to flash on over to the to Ava's art gallery. We're going to knock that one out too. And we got Trina. Trina is back to work and looking really cute in her white and pink. I love it. I love it. I love it. The plaid was cute on her. They're discussing art, Paris, school, creativity, creative environments in Paris. And Ava asks, is it, being at work, is it too soon? Looking at those art, is it helpful? She doesn't want Trina to bring Trina back to painful memories. And, Trina's like, I'm not sure of what's going to bring, I'm unsure of what's going to help me right now. I'm unsure of anything. But it's nice to see she looked good. She looked really pretty in that. That's a beautiful young lady. And anyway, Ava tells Trina to take her time. Take it one day at a time. And that, honestly, is the best thing you could tell somebody who's going through grief, is to take it one day at a time. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to go off of somebody else's time frame when it comes to handling grief. You take it one day at a time, because it's your journey, not theirs. Where we at? Okay, so Nina comes in all frantic, and she wants to talk, and Trina goes off and she does some orders and stuff, and she tells Ava about the invader story. And Ava's like, girl, Sonny don't care about no magazine. And I'm sitting here like, I'm with Ava. I'm like, you really worried about the wrong stuff, boo. Sonny is not. That's the last thing he's doing, is sitting there looking at some stupid magazine talking about some stupid shooting, and his son is fighting for his life. Oh my gosh. I do love the fact that Ava tries to keep Nina from floating off too far in the clouds. But then she talks about her going to go see Dex. She said, what did you go do that for? And I wrote, first I like how Ava questions Nina on her actions, tries to bring her back to reality. So Nina is stressed because she can't see Sonny. She can't go to the hospital to see Dante. And I'm like, so, and God, don't come for me, guys. So I wrote this down too. I was like, funny, she didn't respect his space when he was married. So nobody can band and bar you, Nina, from the hospital. You're choosing not to go to the hospital because this man has asked not to see you, not for you to be in his presence. So you're choosing to stay and avoid him. Oddly enough, when he came back to Nixon Falls and asked you to do the same thing, to fall back, you turned up wherever he was. You turned up wherever he was. Now, I love a Dishy Soap story. I love it. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? But you get what you get. And I can't wait for Sonny and Ava to hit. You know what I'm saying? I said it with the Shamrocks on, baby. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. Anyway, what was that? So she being pushed aside, and her husband needs her. My husband needs me. And then she asks Ava for help again. Ava brings up the timing. It's not the greatest, which I'm saying, girl, just be the silent observer. Just chill. I don't know, though. I don't know if it's going to be an opening. She says, she's like, what do you want me to say? Sonny, I know your son's barely making it, but look at me. When Ava said that, I was like, oh my gosh. Once again, thank you. Thank you, Maura West. Thank you. You always deliver it to us. You give it to us exactly the way we want it. This light is killing me. But she's like, I know your son's barely making it, but look at me. It's like, right? Oh my gosh, girl. Groveling. Who said they weren't going to be groveling? Let me get off of it. Nina says, no. Let me be there for him. Let me be your wife again. She wants Ava to advocate for her. Then they head off. And this is me thing. You see how her personality switched when she said that? Because she looked and she was like, well, no, how did she? that sounded. Let me think how can I make this sound? Oh no, I want to be there for you. I want to love you. I want to be your wife again. And she made this crumbly face, but there was no tears. Like I said, I can't wait. I can't wait for the smacking. And I ain't talking about nobody getting smacked. But they head off to do whatever. And Joss comes to tell Trina that she hopes. So Joss comes to tell Trina about Dex. And she says, what's going on with Dex? Is he gone? I hope he is. I hope he's gone forever. And I'm like, Are you okay? You know what? I know you're supposed to be there for your girl, but your girl man gone for good. Well, I mean, he's not gone for good, but he gone for good. Boo, your man gone right across the street. He had to be gone anyway. Really? You come crying? Because your coochie didn't keep him? That's why you crying? That's why you crying? Josh should have let Dex go a long freaking time ago. She need to go ahead and go ahead and be with Adam, because we do not want Trina with Adam. Sorry, no. Okay? Go ahead and hook him up with Joss. That's what y'all can do. Anyway, let me see. Where was I at, guys? I think I'm trying to knock all the little stories out so I can talk about the Marshall story last. Oh, we're going to head on to the Invader. So we got Alexis and Diane, and they discussing Alexis's disbarment case. And Diane calls the medical board the deep state. And the fact that other elected officials have lied under oath and none face disbarment. I was like, but we forgot to add your drunken behavior, hiding evidence and stuff. Did she try to hide? I don't know, because they brought up Julian and Britt, and I was like, don't be sharing my bread so you can get off, you little drunkie. And of course, Diane had to bring up that they're not to be trusted, because they put a deposition against Alexis, and she brought up their criminal past and how they can't be trusted and all that. But I don't care about Julian, but I did get a little bit offended when she brought up Britt. I'm like, don't be talking about my Brit, Diane. Now, I love you, but don't be talking about my Brit. She rested in heaven. Leave my Brit alone, okay? But anywho, Alexis says, oh, so then Diane asks, well, but you know what? You know, despite all of that, why didn't you never defend yourself? And Alexis says the most honest thing that I got to give her props for, because it's true. I was a drunken mess. I driving drunk, being drunk, watch my grandkid drunk, doing all kind of things drunk. And Diane's like, that's irrelevant. Alexis says she didn't have anything to fight for, and Diane tells her to shake that shit off and figure it out to get out, so she can get out of this invader. Now, I will say, the woman's sobriety, she's doing, like she said, she's doing everything to remain sober. She's staying sober. She's going to her AA. She got a sponsor. She's living a sober life. And drinking's been Alexis's problem for a while. Why did my camera get off all of a sudden dark? That was weird. Y'all see that? That was weird. Anyway, where was I at? 23 minutes. Okay, let me hurry up. They continue to discuss the medical profession and their hatred for lawyers. And Alexis is like, well, you know, I hate lawyers too, but I really do want to be one. And I'm saying to myself, we really want you to be one too, Alexis. We really need you to be a lawyer. And that makes me wonder, are they bringing Ted back? Because if they have 2 lawyers in the scene, I mean, we could have 3, because, you know, we still have my people, but still, we got Jason, Carly, and Sonny on the screen. We might need a lawyer for each one of them. Oh, and Martin could be the lawyer for the Cassadines on Return Her Baby. Moving along, where was I at? So then so Diane calls and starts the appeal process, and finds out what they need to do to start the appeal process. And Diane asks Alexis to do 2 things. Don't sleep with any more doctors. attorneys should only sleep with attorneys. And and then uh and then Alexis is like, you mean like DA attorneys? Should we be more specific? Lawyers should only sleep with DA attorneys. And then Diane says, and then fire that gossip columnist that went after me. I wonder, will that be Alexis's final thing, is firing that gospel columnist? We'll see. I don't know. I see Alexis walking out the door, and I'm okay with it. I really don't care much about this story, but the fact that I'm okay with her becoming a lawyer again, that's a lot more riveting to me than her working at the Invader. So we're going to go to the story of the stories, and the story of why I said I'm going to do this review today, because it touched my heart. And no, not because I'm black, but because I work in community health work. I understand Stella's reasoning for doing what she was doing, and a lot of that reasoning was because behind my mom. My mom has had a very troubled life. Not all of it on her. Not all of it on her. Just she made some decisions that affected her, and people did, it was just, she just had a real hard life. And my mom was a strong woman of God, strong Christian. And because of how she is loud, boisterous, aggressive sometimes, lover of the Lord, will tell the doctor that, she got ignored a lot. They wouldn't listen to her when she talked about her blood pressure medications messing with her heart, making her drowsy. There was just so much messed up stuff they didn't do for my mom. We didn't find out until later on. Looking at her health records now, it just breaks my heart. My mom was completely ignored and not ever taken serious because she was an alcoholic. So that really, black alcoholic, deemed to be bipolar, schizophrenic, all that. Marshall, that happened to my mom. Happened to my mom. And doctors ignored her problems, ignored everything. And so I understand. So this is why I wanted to talk about this, because this is very, very, and that is the reason why I do what I do. I speak for those who either can't speak, don't know they can speak, or just need a little push to speak. I speak for those people. I try to make sure those people are not forgotten. Like my mom, I have to try to do to my mom. And yes, I am my mom's biggest advocate. You can best believe that. But it took me some time. I had to open some doors. I had to get knowledge. I had to figure out how things worked in the healthcare profession. And the healthcare profession still has a very, very long way to go as far as being right. But let's talk about it. But this is why I decided to do the show today, because of this story alone. And Nakia, you let me know. Nakisha, you let me know how you felt about this. Aurora, y'all guys let me know how y'all felt about Sandy. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about all of you guys. Sherry, all of you guys. If I'm missing Clemens, I think your name is that. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, because I can't remember all you guys' name. But y'all let me know. Kyrese, everybody. Spider, let me know how y'all feel about today's show. So we're at Kevin's office, and they're discussing Marshall's diagnosis and his misdiagnosis. And Kevin brings up a book called The Youngest Science by L. Thomas. They didn't want to mention the name. I will mention it up. It's called The Youngest Science by L. Thomas. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all can figure that out. It's Google. Google knows everything. And Stella recalls the book, and most of us do that work where we work at. Guys, I'm going to let you guys form your own opinion. You can do a quick synopsis on the book. You don't have to read the whole thing to get the gist of things. And Marshall's like, okay, yeah, sounds great, whatever. Like, why are we even talking about it? Because, once again, Kevin has to be careful because, educated people start talking educated stuff and educated things. And you're talking to a person that doesn't have that kind of educated level, and they're looking at you like, Ann. And it's not to be disrespectful. So it's like, I don't understand what you're saying, bruh. But anyway, Kev is using it as a reference. Psychiatry is much younger. Basically, healthcare has been around for millennia, right? For forever. Psychiatry is a very much younger thing. They're still figuring things out. Still changing things. Still, like they were giving people electric shock therapy. They were doing lobotomies. Sorry, they were doing lobotomies. They were giving women Valiums for PMS. They were giving them lobotomies for PMS and a midlife crisis and not midlife crisis and what is that? Not postpartum PMS. What is the thing that we all go through with the hot flashes? They were giving women lobotomies. They were doing testing on people that were homosexual. They were doing shock therapy and all kinds of disgusting things to them too, because psychiatry thought if you weren't like, and I'll put it in Kevin's words, if you weren't educated, decently educated, employed, church going, I'm not going to say it like that, but church going, predominantly white, then you weren't in that you weren't in that spectrum. You weren't in that spectrum. And any of those things I mentioned earlier get you automatically taken out of that spectrum. You were deemed to be a problem or crazy. I didn't write down the long word he used, but we know what word he was talking about. But let me go back. Kevin won't defend those mistakes, but it's basically what is normal. And does that mean being like everyone else? That's what they were trying to figure out as far as psychiatry, and that's what they are still trying to figure out. And you tend to look at people you already know, and you already know. That's in your case. That's in your class. Like I said, decently educated, employed, church-going, predominantly white. That was the control group. If you weren't able to switch to any of those different things to take in any of the people in that control group, well, then you were a problem or an illness. Psychiatrists deemed being different as crazy. I remember that. I remember because I was the different girl in high school. My mom, we were kind of raised. My stepfather was a hippie, and my mom was a black activist. So you know what kind of home I grew up in. So when I came, we moved all over the place, and when I finally came to where I'm at right now, I was, first of all, I'm not from here, and this is a very tough. It's not a small town, but there's a small town kind of feel to where I live. And if you're not from here, then you're not from here. You know what I'm saying? So I was called crazy, different, weird. Oh my gosh. Nobody bullied me because they were afraid of me for good reasons. They didn't know what I would do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, But it still is to be different is to be deemed crazy, and I hate that. I hate that. I love being different. But anyway, and he adds, never mind the injustices that hurt that person. So they basically ignored if the reasons why you were the way you were. Like if you came in an angry black person, especially in that time, well, any time really, because we're angry about the things that were happening to us. Oh no, you okay? Calm down. You're getting aggressive. Just relax. And you're like, I am relaxed. I'm hurting. I get too emotional about this. Let me get off my off the pulpit. Where was I at? And then Curtis brings up that those injustices had never been challenged to begin with. And Curtis brings up, and that's the crazy part about it. Black men that were defiant, anxious, were tagged as schizophrenic, whether accurate or not. Especially when you're feeling like someone's out to get you. And you can't, and don't be upset or mad about it. And I'm thinking, how traumatizing does that have to be? But that's the same way I feel every time a cop is anywhere near me. I got my license. I'm not doing anything illegal. I shouldn't be worried. I shouldn't be nervous. But I am. I am every time. Every time. And a lot of people could probably be like, oh, I get nervous around him too. And da 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 da. But for African Americans, it's a way different situation. Or when I'm from down south, when we have a pickup truck full of a certain color of people. They're my brothers and sisters, but they're still certain different color of people, and they're starting to follow you, and you're by yourself. You get nervous. You do. You get nervous. You get nervous. I have a lot of triggers from growing up in the early 70s. So you know what I'm saying? But that was one of them. I remember I was afraid to walk to school when we moved to our new state that I'm living in now, because a couple of guys got up and they were in a good old, we called them good old boy trucks, and they pulled up right behind me, and they were following me to school, and they're calling me all kind of N-words, and I was so afraid. I just ran to the lights, to the buildings, and I just stayed in there till they left, and I would not walk to school until my mom walked with me. I'm not going to get into why I was okay walking to school with them, but she made sure that never happened again. My mom had something for those people. You know what I'm saying? She had something for that. She had something for them. But I never got messed with again. And then she found me a group of friends to walk with, so I didn't have to deal with that. And it's funny because when I grew up down south, that never happened to me. I mean, we used to talk about staying in the house because the clans were having, you know, their walkabouts. But that would be about, I guess that was pretty bad too. Let me get out, guys. I am getting off subject. I'm sorry. Like I want to hear about that. But anyway, Marshall discusses his symptoms, and Kev brings up the medications and side effects, which made things even worse. So let's take it, you are already deemed an angry, volatile person, and now you're taking medication that's making you act even more aggressive. Yeah, now you're truly labeled, and that's when, if you don't have insurance, but if you do, you can get electroshock therapy or lobotomies. And Kevin brought up the fact that they just didn't do this to people of color. No, they did this to the transgender community. They did this to the poor community. Anybody poor. They did this to women. I might add, they're still doing it to women. And they're still doing it to black women. That's why we have a high mortality rate with births. They're still doing it in a lot of cases. We still have a lot of work to do. But it takes us to change it. Us. All of us to change it. But anyway, Kev tells him, and this is what I appreciate out of the whole entire thing, the shame is not his, but it is theirs. And that is true. And Marshall doesn't have any ill will toward the doctor. He forgives him. Which is, I find that to be a lot of the times. Some of the times we just want an apology. I'm sorry. You know, my mom never got that. But I make sure that everybody I see, they won't be ignored. So I felt so on that. I didn't know why she got all out and, you know, and everything like that, but she was just, you know, feeling the compassion of the story. I felt the compassion of the story, which is why I'm talking about the story. But I'm going to close it out because I think I'm going to get a little weepy, and I don't, because, you know, one person at a time, we can make things better for each and every single one of us, because that's all we want. Anyway, happy Shamrock Days, guys. I hope you had a really fun St. Patty's Day. I hope I have a better one next year. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a sweet dreams. Mwah!